We are.
Okay, we're live,
It's really nice.
and you see the number of viewers there. Now, I wanted to suggest you kind of walk about, and then yeah, so I'm going to start speaking in 2 minutes.
Oh, we know.
And you know what? People don't vote, so I am. Really?
Yeah, it's a lovely thing. Listen, I do.
You know. Good afternoon, guys. Do we have audio? Yeah. Actually, the Plum Colts are with us across the street already. So they're yes, the mic pickup is thin. I'm going to have to point it directly at the speakers. I agree with that, actually. But the speakers themselves should be loud enough. Oh, there's the other crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming along to the Full Sports Roll Show. And we are here today to tell HUMZA Yousaf. We're here to tell him that his anti-Dissipation is not needed. It's not wanted. and it must be repealed. Welcome to the square. HUMZA, yes please, otherwise known as Prisoners for Independence. And this march today has been organised by a group that calls itself Make Believe in Scotland. Although they call themselves Believe in Scotland. I am a little bit disappointed because we were told that the Yes bikers were going to turn up today. And if you don't know, the Yes bikers are building the Hells Angels without the hair, without the women, and without the bikes either. In fact, they're not so much Hells Angels, they're Pies Angels. And folks, there is a Greg's at the corner of the square. And we've heard they've got 2 for 1 offer. So that may be where you'll find the Yes bikers today. Not so much Sons of Anarchy, more like Sons of State Bake. Not so much Stallions of the Highway, more like My Little Ponies. But seriously, we used to enjoy watching them go past. Go boom, 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 boom. Who knows where they've gone? Anyway, the march is firing in. And it's not looking very diverse. I don't want to call out how many white people are there. But I think they're listening too. In fact, HUMZA's going to be the most diverse person here today. It turns out now, first begin has been told that he is having second thoughts. Because he's not quite sure that he wants to embarrass himself in front of the Fourth Brigade. It's not quite clear that he really has the nerve to stand up in front of the people of Glasgow and say to them that he has taken away their freedom of speech. And seriously, can you imagine what he's actually doing to us? That we are here in 2024. We are imagining that things are going to get better. That he's coming in and he is taking away the rights that our ancestors fought and died for. He's taken away the rights that men and women alive today who served in the armed forces fought for and served for. And so we have to say to him, that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable in Glasgow. It's not acceptable in Edinburgh. It's not acceptable in Scotland. And Mr. Rishi Sunak, if you're listening, and Mr. Keir Starmer, it's not acceptable in the rest of the United Kingdom either. And also, a message to the SNP today and the Scottish Cabbage Party, otherwise known as the Soggy Greens. Our message to you is do not take advantage of the Scottish people. We're long suffering, but we don't want to be put upon by laws that will control our mouth. Because when you try to control our mouth, you're trying to control our minds. And those are thought crimes that belong in the pages of a George Orwell novel. They don't belong in 2024 in our great British city of Glasgow. And there's so much wrong with this law today. Now, we're expecting that they're probably going to start speaking at 2 p.m. Now, there's a long list of people that we're told are absolute legends in their own households. These are the kind of people that I googled them and I still couldn't find them. So I don't know what they're going to be saying to us. But when Ross Greer gets up there and when HUMZA Yousaf gets up there, we're going to give them a piece of our mind. And there's so much wrong with this law. It offends in so many ways, on principle and in practice. In principle, it's not even needed because of other laws like breach of the peace and communications acts and so on that cover threatening and abusive behaviour. And it's not wanted. Firstly, of course, because it offends against the principle that you should be able to speak your mind without fear or favour and certainly without punishment. And it offends on the principle that it's very bad law. It's very bad law because we don't know if we've even broken it. It's for other people to decide if they themselves feel that it's been broken. So how can you have a law when you don't know whether you've broken it or not? So it's bad law in that way because the principle in Scottish and British wider law is that you're innocent until proven guilty. But in this law, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. And that's a complete offence. Thirdly, it's government domination of our minds. And that's unacceptable to us. Government domination of our minds. And it seems that these people are happy to have our society dominated. They need to be telling HUMZA to repeal this law. We have to repeal this law. And we do need to rise up. We need to rise up against those who are taking Scotland to ruin. And that is Mr. HUMZA Yousaf and his Scottish Cabbage Alliance. And even where are the Scottish cabbages? I don't see any Green Party. I don't see any Green Party flags. Somebody said they're in the wine bar. I think that's exactly where they are. They're in the wine bar. Letting their what they regard as their useful people. Apparently he is in there. Ross Greer is in that crowd. Apparently he's just hiding in among everybody. But just look for his. How many of you got, sir? You're falling out with everybody. You're falling out with the Alba Party. You're falling out with the all under one banner people. You're falling out with more people than Nicola Sturgeon fell out with already. So that's the whole march is in there. And I'm just trying to find the microphone at the moment. Well, we're going to have a couple of speakers on. I'm just looking around for my colleagues.
I need to get in there to get the speaker.
Hello, I'm the one. Tony. Max.
All right.
So what you want to do is you want to be speaking directly into that. Where angry. Find them and bring them over.
Nick's gonna speak now.
It's good if I can see the face and hear the voice. If I do yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. I'm very pleased to introduce a young man to speak to us. His name is Nick Mitchell. And Nick Mitchell very much has a foundation in free speech because he runs a podcast which is dedicated to free speech. It's called We Say It Podcast on Rumble and also on Twitter and TikTok. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to Mr. Nick Mitchell. Hello. So I just want to take this minute to thank Alistair for allowing me to speak to you all this afternoon. And why am I here? I am here for my kids. I do not want my kids growing up where they may be imprisoned for something that they are saying and something they think. And this dictatorship of a country that we are becoming because of the scum SNP government. What kind of a man would I be if I didn't realize that what my fathers, grandfathers fought and died for was our freedom?
Go on, my son.
What kind of a man would I be? I would be a disappointment to my bloodline if I was to sit on my ass to do nothing. And I'm not also here just for my kids, but for your kids and your grandkids. I had a speech right now, but I've totally forgot it. But here's the message ultimately to you, Mr. HUMZA Yousaf, if you're listening. And you better listen good. I will not be silent. My war. This is your war. So stand up and be counted. Because if you want this SNP government to continue on, we're going to end up completely controlled with no way back. This is a turning point. And you know what? You may hate me for this, but I'm going to explain why I'm going to say this. I'm also here to stand up for their mob because one day they may wake up. And when they wake up, do not ridicule them. Do not make them feel a certain way. Well, maybe take the piss a little bit. But do not allow the mainstream media to paint us in a light of these bad-faith actors. Welcome them into the right side of history. So, HUMZA, you racist piece of shit! I am not being silent! If you try and take me down, you best believe I'm taking you down with me! And I'm going to end on a phrase that I'm going to slightly reword from a man across the pond. Let's make Scotland great again! Thank you! Fantastic passion from Mr. Nick Mitchell of the We Say It podcast. Check that guy out and give him a follow. That's the kind of passion that's needed if we're to turn Scotland round again. Folks, it's also a great pleasure to introduce my next speaker, Dr. Alan McManus. Dr. Alan McManus is the chairman of the Freedom Alliance. And he will tell you exactly what that is all about. And he's got a few choice words to say as well about this. He is an academic, and he tells me he's also an actor as well. Dr. Allen.
Hello, everyone. The speaker goes this way, and I intend not to shout. Hopefully, you can hear me. If you want to come this side and curry in, because as Max Bygrave said, I want to tell you a story. Come on in. Curry in, folks. Curry in. Can you hear me at the back? You can. Thank you, sir. Come right in. Come right in. Let people in. Come on. Okay. My father spoke soldier's German. And so, in his version, what they said at the beginning was this. Ist da eine Dolmetscher here? And then a bookish British soldier would be pushed through the ranks by the squaddies to interpret what the Nazi guards had said. 3 years later, because that was the extent of my father's sojourn in a prisoner of war camp, when they asked the same question, Nobody answered because everyone spoke German by then. So that was my father's side. On my mother's side, mein Urgroßvater kam aus Hanover in 1861. And why, you would imagine, did he leave there to come to the east end of London under Bismarck, decades before even the Kaiser? Well, his name might give you a clue. It can be spelt Aleph, Resh, Nun, Sin. And I didn't understand the significance of that. It's not spelled that way in German. When I was asked at my alma mater, Scotland's oldest university, to become president of the Jewish Society, and I refused, saying, I'm Goy. In fact, I'm Roman Catholic. And they said, no, no, Alan, but you're the one that has been here the longest. So we want you to be the president. You have been on a kibbutz. You speak Hebrew, which was almost a complete lie because I never really got into my head. Keep thy foot from the tent of the wicked and other phrases they were trying to teach me in Hebrew 1 and Hebrew 2. Although I can master Ani Rotste Glida Ehad, which if anyone in the crowd medaver Ivrit, Ken, Lo, it means I want an ice cream. And that's a really useful phrase when you're living in the Levant. Why am I telling you all this? Because it may then come as a surprise when I say that the gentleman who invited me to speak here today to you is none other than Scotland's enemy, public enemy number one, Mr. Alistair McConaughey, who is a very nice gentleman, as you know, and who was a great help to me and to my candidate when I was his election agent in the recent by-election in Hillhead. Why has Alistair got a bit of a bad reputation? Now, it's not because of his rather colourful jacket, which he doesn't have on today, and it's not actually because of anything that he said. If you have ever seen the film The Winslow Boy, you will know, because of what Freddie says at the end, that it doesn't matter what you say to the press, because they'll write anything anyway. And that's what happened to Alistair. I have more degrees than sense, and my first degree is in ecclesiastical history and practical theology, and had that degree shop up the road granted me an interview and not sacked me for standing up for the rights of disabled people and free speech 4 years ago, I would have been able to elaborate at an interview to them about that. So I am also a historian. And as I heard a very erudite gentleman with a lovely accent from over the water standing around here say to a colleague earlier on, history, and I'm paraphrasing Henry Ford, is not just one damn thing after another. Why? Because there is no authority to determine what happened when and what the relationship is with these things. What has this got to do with you and with me and with hate speech and with Alistair? Because I looked at the source document at what Alistair had actually said. And in terms of historiography, in terms of the narratives of history, it's not exactly groundbreaking. If any of you have studied Scottish history in a Scottish university, especially if you're my age, you will have had the pleasure of being lectured at, usually by English professors who delight in telling you that Scotland is and always has been a complete myth. It is nothing more but than a ragbag of disparate tribes and ethnicities and religions and shifting political alliances that more or less unsuccessfully, because the score's only 2-1 at the moment and it's half time, we're not very successful against our neighbours over the border. And this, I must admit, Because, don't kill me, I'm a Scottish nationalist, personally, but my party isn't. This has always riled me, but as a historian, I need to admit the truth of it. And I need to say that if that's true of Scotland, it is also true of England. What's my long and rambling point? And I do thank you for your patience. History is a shifting conglomerate of narratives that contend and overlap and slip one into the other. It's not set in stone. History is argued over all the time by historians. In Latin languages, there is only one word for story and history: historia, historia, storia, histoire. And what Alistair was doing was simply saying this story may not be completely true. That's hardly a groundbreaking thing to say, especially when you put it in context of another story which is hardly ever talked about. And I'm talking about the Soviet famine, which killed so many people. And there are no museums about that. And there's no days of commemoration about that. Alistair was demonized because, not, I think, because of his views on historical revisionism. And let's put revisionism into context. It's what historians do all the time, revise theories, and it's what academics do all the time. We revise theories, and if we're not doing that, we're not doing our job. It doesn't mean that you have to believe everything in the latest revision because it's only temporary. But you should at least consider it if you're a real academic. Alistair was demonized because he's saying other things that are inconvenient to the establishment. Other speakers may talk, and you may consider yourselves that there is a chilling effect on free speech from this hate crime legislation. But I want you to consider also the detrimental effect on freedom of academic endeavour. Because if we can't think freely, and I admit that a lot of academics are useless loafers, stupidly putting out books with one thought at a time. That's true. But every now and again, one of them, by coincidence, comes up with something that's actually useful. I am the chairman of Freedom Alliance, and our deputy leader a few weeks ago mentioned something about the use of hemp in repairing potholes. Now imagine if someone comes along and says, oh, you can't use hemp for potholes because hemp is cannabis and that's the war on drugs. And no, no, no. And just say no, as Nancy Reagan said, quite wisely. Then that endeavour would be shut down completely because it's not ideologically convenient. And so, if we go on in this way and we don't even consider ideas because we disagree with them or we think they might be dangerous, then we are missing out on the good ideas which may follow. There are only 3 reasons for new legislation. And the first one is because society's values have progressed to such an extent that something needs to be regulated, needs to be provided for in law, which has not been. So women's suffrage is such an example. Because when we men eventually, and it did take us a while, and the ladies had to remind us rather a lot, conceded that women are equal, then finally we decided that we had to give them the vote. So that was society's values progressing and the law progressed. And the second reason for new legislation is when you have a new situation. So, for example, contract law is changing because of electronic signatures. And you'll know that because you're a businessman. And it has borrowed from the use of signatures on paper and has just expanded. So that's the second category. And the third category, I'll let you boo. One more minute. Okay, one more minute. The third category for new legislation is when the statute book is incoherent and the relationship with common law, with judge-made law, is no longer clear. This hate crime legislation fails all three heads of the rationale because there are no new values that it embodies. The snowflakes who imagine that it's good for them are wrong. Because without going into a huge controversial subject, demographics are changing. And what may be in place now is not going to be in place in the future. So if we give up our right to our free speech to the state, then beware, because it could be your opinions next. There is no new technology, and this does not declutter the statute book. It makes it incoherent. It makes it confusing, and hundreds of police officers who are not able to do anything else are now scratching their heads trying to work out if this is a hate crime. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you to Alistair for inviting me today. Let's repeal hate crime. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Alan McManus, for an excellent talk. Very, very educational. It's fantastic that we have got a mind like Dr. McManus on our side. Now, folks, what's happening here is the police have set a yellow line between us and the youth wing of the SNP. And so, we can't move this outside of this. Don't feel free yourself to move wherever in that area you want. Basically, when the speakers come on, we're just really beginning giving them noise. Basically, just giving them a good welcome to Glasgow. So feel free to do what you want, say what you want, whistle as much as you want. We put out a lot of whistles today, so we don't want them to be wasted. It's a lovely day here, and it's a good crowd. And so let's show them that they are not the only game in town. We love the United Kingdom. We love our freedom of speech. We love our freedom of assembly. We're grateful to the council and the police for putting on, helping to put on our demonstration as well. So they're saying something from the stage, but I can't hear it. So that's a good sign. Because I can assure you there's nothing they're going to say that you haven't heard before. It's all going to be very sad, and it's all going to be very annoying. Basically, that's what you're going to get. And I actually do believe that the rally is meant to have started. But you wouldn't imagine that, would you? Because we're making more noise than they are. And so somebody speaking at the moment who is an MBE, a member of the British Empire. She was awarded an MBE when she was 30 years old. And she wants to break up the United Kingdom. That's really, really serious. She is a hypocrite.
Hi. Thank you very much. You're quite well dressed now. You're quite lucky. This is Maybe those
I
are.
don't know who's the kids. I'm just telling you.
Oh, right. Nah, I think they're ENFP. Yeah.
Where is I won't take my unique chat with me, obviously. I've just got the whole box.
I don't think you should. I think you should just propose.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
They're saying something, the Tories, the evil Tories, we're all evil Tories. That's how their demonology works. I don't know actually, I can't see, I'm so excited. You think that might be Ross Clear? It's the old those ethno people there. They're not with us.
Folks, it's Pat Green is speaking. Okay, he's giving a talk. He's giving a talk. I have to write the same article in the National every week. The short in the same words in a different order. Here's the man, Pat. Could you put a clock on this for me, please? I want to tell people like to switch their brains back on. If you want to hear some big words that you've never heard before, just go down to the stage and listen to Pat Keane. Because he's been having a very serious thought about his own life these last few hours. And he's going to be using at least some 6 or 7 syllable words in this speech, so I hope they handed out a dictionary at the same time. Keeping the United Kingdom is about hope. Keeping the United Kingdom together is the understanding that we are more in common than we do apart. Keeping the United Kingdom together is the only way. What these people want to do is to break us up, and then the very next day they want to figure out ways of getting back together again. How much sense does that make? How about staying in the United Kingdom and figuring out ways to make things better for everybody right now?
Can you not walk a bit while we stop?
Because when you live in Glasgow, or when you live in Glastonbury, whether you live in Dundee, or whether you live in Donegal, whether you live in Aberystwyth, or whether you live in Aberdeen, there's more that unites us than breaks us apart, and we all have the same interests in our life. We want peace, we want stability, we want a good future for ourselves and for our children and for our grandchildren. And the United Kingdom is the greatest insurance policy any of us will ever have. It is indeed a precious vase that we must handle carefully. And the idea that we should break it apart for the sake of Mr. Pat Kane's favoured imagination is wrong and absurd. And he talks about independence as if a man who is standing behind HUMZA Yousaf, who is taking away our independence of mind, our independence of speech, our independence of action, our independence of thought. So, Pat, enough of your independence talk. Do you understand it's the individual and society that must be independent from government overreach, such as that manifest by HUMZA Yousaf.
Well, you did well anyway. Standing up's always good.
So I can answer some questions now. People are asking about the Palestinian flag. That's actually a separate route in the square. We're aware of the sound issues. It's been my mission to just point the camera at the speaker directly.
You know, I've been practicing a song that I'm going to be singing for Humza when he comes on. It may be familiar to some of us when I say, "Who may hate me after what I say?" But just can't hold it in any longer. Just got to tell him anyway. Bye bye, Humza, Humza, goodbye. Bye bye, Humza, Scotland says bye. Bye bye, Humza, Humza, goodbye. Bye bye, Humza, Scotland says bye. I could hate you, but why thinking it? Cause there just isn't anything in it. You've got win and we're not free, so bye bye, Humza, Humza, goodbye. Bye bye, Humza, Scotland says bye. Bye bye, Humza. Humza, goodbye. Bye bye, Humza. Scotland says bye. Oh, wish I never had known you, Humza. Wish I never had known you. How can let that be for we so? Bye bye, Humza. Humza, goodbye. Bye bye, Humza. Scotland says bye. So who's this speaking from the stage at the moment? Another legend in his own lunchtime. I can't even see him through the waves of the Union Jacks. He could be one of these people that I googled and I couldn't even find him on the internet machine. In fact, I started his Wikipedia page for him. Literally nobody that we know. It's a lovely day in the square today. If it wasn't for this great big stage at the other side spouting a complete load of nonsense. Folks, we have to think of a future in Scotland. We have to get rid of the separatists. We have to get rid of them in the ballot box. And we have to get rid of them in our culture. And we've got to be for unity. We've got to be for keeping the UK together. Scottish, English, Northern Irish and Welsh together, united under our fantastic Union Jack, created by the Scotsman James VI. Is that the Scottish Socialist Party bloke speaking? I can't tell. If so, they've arrived in a time machine from 1999.
He's flagging off the Bruce. Photograph that. That's just beautiful. That the high up flag there, billowing. Take a still photo. You think photos earlier? I don't know. They all sound the same. No, it's a Scottish Socialist Party man. He's talking about class war or something. I say anything?
Hey folks, what's happening at the moment? Let's get the flags in the background. We've got about at least 200 people here. The yellow vests have separated us from the main event, from what we're calling the SNP Youth Wing, which is to say Pensioners for Independence. And so they put our speaker behind this little metal railing that you've seen. But once their rally started, all our people just moved forward, surged forward, and as a consequence, the police have put this the yellow vests in the way. But we're told that HUMZA is going to be speaking towards the end of this, and they've got people there, as I say, speaking that you go onto Google and you can't even find them basically, and you find what there is on Google and there's nothing worth saying about them. So other than that, we put out a lot of whistles, which you might be hearing, and that will generally be disrupting things. And we're actually very, very close to their march, which is very interesting because last time when it was Sturgeon, we were away over in the far corner. So, folks, keep watching, keep sharing as well. Share this video on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, and I'll leave you in the capable hands of our videographer here, who's going to move among the groups and just take some pictures of everybody. Cheers, folks.
Gorgeous big flag up there. What I maybe didn't make clear earlier is that there's about 3 different groups here today. There's us and them. Then there's the Palestine people, there's some anti-refugee people, different groups. That's why you see different flags that are not connected to us. People were asking here about the Palestine flag. The thing in itself. Right. Okay. Ah, right. I've got an image of my face now. You have to ask Debbie. I just saw her message. I've got images of my face now. All right. Yeah, yeah. I see. Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Guys, can we knock off the religious debate or take it somewhere else? The reason it's the best sound yet is because it's big sounds. You're not missing anything. Like there's no speech happening. Just moans and groans on the stage. You're not missing any speech. No speech happening. Just noises. Thankfully, we can't hear it. So there's something in Gaelic or this is out of AFS. Oh, right. Yeah. Nothing's like very bad, but if they can manage it or editing, hopefully they'll want to fill as much filler as possible. I mean, it's that Charlie Beach fellow. Alright, okay. Good afternoon, Charlie Beach. The Beach is in London while someone's using his face. From Reach to Radicals. Like, okay.
A man representing a party that wants to destroy Scotland's greatest industry. A man who wants to keep thousands unemployed. Boo! Boo! North Korea has got nothing to say to the people of Scotland except destruction. GLASGOW and your puppet master, Mr. Flowerpot Man, known as Patrick Harvey. And both to Mrs. Flowerpot, the Flowerpot woman. The people who deliver the SNP coming out of Hollywood is the people that are going to vote you out, sir. The people will vote out Ross Greer, they'll vote out Patrick Harvey, and they'll vote out Mrs. Philippa as well. Yes, go home and eat a good steak, and let's get some muscles in these arms of yours. You're eating too much glass, really. Go home and have some fried lettuce. Your favorite for Scotland is a negative one. Your favorite for Scotland is destroying the economy, to lock us down, to pump us full of your scientific, pharmaceutical, industrial complex vaccines. You're a disgrace to the name Green. You should be standing up against the lockdown. You should be standing up against mass vaccination. You should be standing up against government domination of our lives. But no, you're far away. You clear away for the gold at Hollywood. You and the rest of the green cabbages. You and the rest of the soggy greens. You need to go back in the back of the fridge again and never get discovered until somebody says, what's that smell in the back of the fridge? And they pull it out, and it's Ross Greer, Patrick Harvey, and Mrs. Philippa rotting away in the soggy green compartment. That's where you belong, Mr. Ross Greer. So enough of you standing out in front of us, thinking you've got something to tell us. You've got nothing to tell us of any value, and anything that you tell us is death and destruction for our children. So goodbye, Ross Greer. Go and join. Go and join. Go and join your master, HUMZA Yousaf, in the Where Are They Now draw, which is where you're going to be in a couple of years. Goodbye, Ross. Goodbye, Ross. Goodbye, Ross. Folks, that speech was sad, but it was mainly annoying.
Yeah, they're playing music at the other end. The music wouldn't transfer clearly enough to get us blocked. Guys, I'm not attempting to broadcast the speech from the other end. I'm not failing to do it. I'm just not attempting to do it. That's true. RIGTE is a cognate of the rect, RECT. Rewind up and then keep it.
So the march is not the march, the rally's at the other side there of the square, and somebody just reported to us there that the speakers are introducing themselves by their pronouns. So it's like, hello, I'm Ross Greer, um, or at least the last person anyway, introduced themselves by their pronouns. So that's like really kind of messed up as far as we're concerned. At the moment, there's a woman talking from Pensioners for Independence, and it's literally nothing you can say to, because it's just like the usual nonsense. You know what I mean? Um, and you don't want to go too hard on the Pensioners for Independence because you might get done for elder abuse these days. Because age actually is one of the aggravating factors in this matter. So you can't really tell them to get real anymore. And she's probably going to be talking about how she hopes to see independence in her lifetime. Well, to be frank with you, if I was her age, I would be recalibrating my life expectations. Actually, I don't know if it is a pensioner for independence, otherwise known as the youth wing of the SNP. It looks like a goth, actually, which seems strange. Um, it looks kind of spooky from where I'm standing, to be frank, and I'm as far back from this person as possible. It literally looks like somebody from the Addams family. You can't see them, unfortunately, but I believe it's a female wearing a black floppy hat with what from here looks like white makeup and black lipstick. That could be the CND person. There's a CND person speaking, or it could just be a random person that they pulled off the street. Either way, it's not really making much difference. Anyway, we hope for these people. We hope that one day they'll understand the truth and understand what a fantastic country they live in, and stop trying to set the Scots against each other. Because we British are not going to allow our country to be broken up, and you can see that today. Like large numbers of us, there's at least 200 of us. We'll give you a count on how many of them there are because we did film them, and we will be counting them this evening, and so we'll put out the message this evening about how many are actually in the square. But when they arrived in the square, there was maybe 100 or so of them hanging around. We're told, my cameraman said, that the march took less than 10 minutes to pass, so that's probably going to be under 1,000. Depends how quickly they were walking, obviously, but we'll have the full video and count for you this evening. This woman is going on and on and on and on, and quite frankly, oh, self determination. That's a new word. Send that one in. Nobody's heard of that one before. Did she say British Imperium? I think she did. I think that's a fantastic phrase. I'm going to start using that. The British Imperium.
We're fully able to share our country with other nations right at the moment. In fact, it's called the British Commonwealth. You might have heard of it. There's 56 other nations that have stayed with the United Kingdom because they love the United Kingdom so much. Thank you for that very boring speech, lady. No, it wasn't fantastic. It was rubbish. It was absolutely awful. It's the lady who got given an MD by the king and now wants to break up the country. How shameful of you. You're being a hypocrite. You should hand in your MD. It stands for Member of the British Empire. So don't be standing up there trying to break up the United Kingdom wearing an MBE on your sleeve, madam. Completely hypocritical. Absolutely disgraceful. Now what nonsense we're going to have on next? Where's HUMZA? 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 On this direction, Banter. He's been missing from Scottish politics for the last 25 years. If somebody knows where he is, please send a message to Mr. Thomas Sheridan. Tell him we know where Richard Benton's got to. Richard Benton from the Scottish Socialist Party. Making an entrance for a time machine from 1999. Who would have even remembered them? Until today, he's still alive and kicking. This is the most extraordinary thing that's happened in this whole rally. Richard Benton is still involved in politics. Richard, your time is over. Richard, back with Thomas, your friends. Your time is over. Get off the stage. Come on. Nothing you've said before hasn't been heard a million times. It's time for you to say goodbye and retire gracefully. Goodbye, Richard Benton. Nobody's ever thought of that idea before, Richard. That's amazing.
Guys, you're not missing anything. That's just the what. It's just what he sounds like. It sounds like. It's not the mic.
Shut up! I know you had to perfect the world. Since I was 7, I was still there as myself with Luke. But I'm thinking of you in the square because you just blind out now. Defense industry nationalised. There we go. There's another 5 minutes of pleather ocean. Well, no, people stop speaking because HUMZA's watching the penalties. That's why. That makes sense now. Come on. I was up on your screen. If you're not interested in listening to you. Okay. None of us are any the wiser after that revolution. No, don't thank you. Let's thank you. Cut that speech in half. Confidence to the last speaker. A horrible little communist traitor. Good riddance. Go on.
This banner was broadcast over the world about 2 or 3 weeks ago outside Hollywood. No, do you? Who's GB News? I don't know. Actually, they're here though. They may possibly come here. They'll probably move to the house. Seen someone in the house that might be them. I think ITV. Your blogger. Right, your blogger. Actually, I'm doing this for Alston. Alston's camp. Two Alston. Oh, one here there. Oh, right, right. We can do it. Cheers. Who?
Nobody knows where my HUMZA has gone. Come on, HUMZA! Run, HUMZA! You're hiding! Come on, come on, that slimy stone and show your ugly face! Come on, HUMZA. All right, remember that stone.
Something scared the birds there. It's a colossal engine sound. That's true, Willie Brown. We were basically just capturing the monologues from Alistair. We're not trying to capture some speech from over there. The people are speaking over there, but even I cannot hear them. I think we're still waiting on Humding to put in an appearance. Oh God, these people are boring me. It's a shame they put Hamza last, so we have to sit through this. We do have a GoPro somewhere else, but it's in use in some other way, I think. you're not missing anything in terms of sound. Like, honestly, it's just a general din of whistles and a faraway megaphone.
This guy fancies himself as a ranger. Apparently he's got a book out. He's got to return it to the library next weekend. Now he's giving us a poem for crying out loud.
Oh, we don't want to hear the words!
James!
Oh, shut up!
James Robertson thinks he's a poet. James Robertson likes to know it. He writes about his life. He doesn't write about his wife. He thinks it's good enough to tell George Square. Even when there's nobody there. This is easy. I'm just going to pull it. I like to be up there. James, when you finish this poem, by the way, I'll give you a Robert Bond's poem right now. His poem is Condemnation. And it goes like this. It's very pertinent. And it's what we'll be saying to HUMZA Yousaf. Here's freedom to him who would wait. Here's freedom to him who would wait. For there's none ever feared that the truth should be heard. Then who, whom the truth would indict, and they indict, how to say Yousaf, and they indict James Robertson for his rubbish poem.
Folks, so it's everybody's still waiting for HUMZA to come out, and people are saying he's probably watching the sudden time at the Aberdeen Celtic event, and he's simply not wanting to come out until that's over. Who knows? Well, actually, I think I do know. I think that's probably what's happening. That's if he's going to turn up, but we do believe that he is going to turn up. Um, that's the word on the street, is he is going to turn up, and it has to be pretty soon, because everybody up there has been doing that thing where they just talk for ages with nothing to say. What's it called? There's a word for it. And that has to be because they're like basically holding out for HUMZA. Holding out for a HUMZA. So, and this person at the moment, literally, you have to be here to understand just how doleful this person is, how uninspiring, and how basically not reading the crowd. Okay, the crowd doesn't want to listen to his poems. The crowd doesn't want to listen to what he had for breakfast this morning. The crowd is not interested in this particular writer. But it's as I said at the start, this is the official SNP marching wing, and so the people that they're trying to get up there on the stage are very limited in their abilities, as to be expected. And even a lot of the rally is now dissipated, which is really foolish, because they should have had HUMZA on halfway through when the rally was at its peak, which was about 3 o'clock. But for some reason, they think everybody's going to stand about for HUMZA. Well, at least half, if not if not actually two-thirds of that actual make believe in Scotland rally has now gone. They've all gone to the pub. Of course they have. It's only people like ourselves who are here to boo Humza that are remaining. So hopefully Humza will be the next one on. Good stuff. Any questions you want to ask? Any questions coming up in the chat? Ask me anything. I can't believe he's actually talking about the weather.
This is a poem or just a speech. This is crying out loud. It's a poem about the weather. Read the round. People want to go home. So this rally has been reduced to the level of discussing the weather. Well, the weather's been quite good today, as you may have noticed. We've been enjoying it. But we're not enjoying being bored by that moron on the platform. Probably the most boring speaker we've heard. No lies detected.
Trying to make us go away, I think that's committed to
So anybody got any questions they want to ask?
no further questions. I think they're just enjoying it.
I can't believe they've got it now to ask for donations after the news yesterday. SNP and donations are not words that go together very well in the same sentence.
So even the nationalist crowd is dissipating, as we can see. Let's take a look at it. Let's see the dissipation. That's not what it was. Their crowd's smaller than ours.
We don't want any more referenda. So clear off. Unless you break up our country and transform it into a Marxist bastion of the EU. That's what you're interested in, mate. If you're stop dog. We were really trying to subvert the police and get them to impose the Hate Crime and Public Order Act on us. But I'm not sure how the police feel about it, but we're simply not impressed. That war is a criminal war. It's been made by criminals. No decent person could possibly condone it. It's a kind of criminal activity you'd expect from a tin pot dictatorship in a communist country. This is the bill that formed make-believe in Scotland. Gordon McIntyre kept the man you got to blame for today's event. He formed make-believe in Scotland, and he also formed Business in Scotland. And Business in Scotland is a very interesting SNP organisation. the people who have been in business. And the membership requirement to join business in Scotland is that you once wore a tie to something other than your sister's wedding, or you know how to use a stapler. And if you're like Gordon and you wear a tweed waistcoat, then you got automatic management position. So Gordon, how's it been to fall out with the Alpha Party and all under one banner on the same day? Oh.
They're complaining they can't hear anything. I said, you're not missing anything. It's just one long drone. They're like controlling for 2 hours, 18 minutes. I got here at midday. Uh, 1,000. All waiting for HUMZA. Here he is.
Okay, folks, that was cheerio to Humza. Bye bye, Humza. Scotland says bye. Bye bye, Humza. Humza, goodbye. So they're going to be winding down now. So we're going to be winding down ourselves as well. I want to say thank you, a big thank you to everybody that's been watching this live stream. Well, absolutely share this about, and make sure that you get you retweet it, please. Make sure that you share it on Facebook, you share it on YouTube, and let's get that name known that we're here. Scotland's not standing for this. This law is not needed. It's not wanted, and it must be repealed. And we'll have a lot to say on that in the coming weeks and months running up to the general election. So please, folks, if you're not already following A Force for Good, please do follow us. Let's give you a shot of our banner here. Get Humza out. Scottish ejection. We're at aforceforgood.uk. And that's our contact number there. Contact at aforceforgood.uk. Please do help us if you can. Thanks very much, folks, for watching. We're going to end now. Want to thank our videographer and all our speakers. And thank you for watching, and thanks for sharing it around, folks.